Hey gang, welcome to another edition of Doc Schlock, where it's a review of the movie Land Shark, and it of course is the final day of Shark Schlock Week. Dr. Forrester and his assistant Lucinda are trying to figure out what the heck is going on with a bunch of sharks, as they're trying to do experiments on them and everything like that to turn them into some sort of military weapons. Of course they are. Well, at least Dr. Forrester's trying to. There's a woman funding money into this whole thing happening. And, of course, the woman wants Lucinda taken out of the picture pretty soon. So we have not just one land shark, but apparently two land sharks going around taking people out left and right. And for some reason, Dr. Forrester is injecting himself with some sort of serum. You know, of course, you're not supposed to figure out why, but I think you might kind of get the idea why. You might even predict it before the end of the movie. So he and Lucinda are going around trying to find land sharks. They wind up finding one out by some sort of like an overpass, and they wind up destroying it with laser guns. They find a second one at this old abandoned house, and they defeat it with laser guns by a lake, but they also wind up blowing it up. And apparently there's a third land shark, which actually turns out to be, dun dun dun, Dr. Forrester. Yes, Dr. Forrester becomes sort of a were-land shark in the movie, and, well, Lucinda defeats him pretty easily. And after she does that, Dr. Forrester turns back to normal, and he keeps saying something about other experiments, and she wonders why, but unfortunately, Dr. Forrester goes into that sandy beach in the sky before she can find out what happens. And the movie ends with what looks like a bunch of people on a pier and on a beach, and it would appear that the other land sharks are about to strike. So, why did this movie suck? I think most of the money kind of went to two different parts of this movie. One of them being the death scene of the homeless guy, because that was pretty nasty, and the were-shark outfit. Most of the gore is off-screen, and the sharks themselves really honestly look like just some sort of stuffed toys. They fit in front of they sit in front of a green screen, moved around like a puppet or something like that. And the movie is just so extremely dumb. Acting's not great. And this is a movie that Bloodbath and Beyond tried to tell everybody don't see it. But again, I'm just always that kind of guy who's curious about how bad could it possibly be. Well, it is here on YouTube if you want to check it out. You may have to put up with some weird-looking subtitles down the bottom, but other than that, it shouldn't be that hard to find. But this movie was really, 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 really bad. The acting did not get better, and the woman funding the money for the experiments, you'll notice every time she talks, her eyebrows keep moving up and down. I thought that was a little distracting. Again, and it's another one of these horror movies where if you try to get to know a new character, they're not going to be around very long. I think the homeless guy was in the movie maybe a total of 15-20 minutes. And I hate to say this, but I think he was like the best actor of of everybody in the cast. I pray to God there's not going to be a land shark too. But one thing that kind of gets to me is that why they didn't call it land sharks. And I thought about it, and I thought, well, people would probably confuse us with sand sharks. And I'm thinking, well, sand sharks was bad, but they kind of seem like they tried to put some effort into the special effects for the sand sharks. And yes, I will admit Raiders of the Lost Shark was a bad movie, but this one could almost top it in really real badness. With Raiders of the Lost Shark, yeah, the special effects were bad, but at least they kind of looked like they put some effort into making the shark look somewhat realistic. But in this one, it was just like a bad puppet, enlarged and everything like that. But yeah, there you guys have it, review of Land Shark. And I want to say thanks, you guys, for tuning in to Shark Schlock Week all this week. And I also want to send a special thank you and shout out to fellow YouTubers, You and Your Horror Movies, Skin Slip, Christopher Harris, and The Wicker Boy for their request for this week too. And I hope you guys go check out their channels and subscribe to them. And of course, hey, if you like my videos, always feel free to subscribe. And if you've seen this movie, please let me know in the comments below what you think about it. And if you got a horror, sci-fi horror, comedy horror, or fantasy horror movie that took place on land, sea, in the air, or somewhere that shouldn't have a shark anywhere near it, send it my way and I'll get on it ASAP. Thank you guys so very much for watching. And until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on.